All right, welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know what has gotten into me here recently. Last few live streams, I'm always 3 minutes late. I don't like this kind of stuff. I'm superstitious. I come from a superstitious family. Why am I always starting 3 minutes late? Let me get to the bottom of that. But I saw the articles that surfaced. I saw the viral stories that are being published, and this is very much viral. The sentencing of this grandmother is extremely viral at this moment. And I just wanted to hop on here and talk about it. And you see the title of the live stream. I want to deal with these tactics that people use to defend dogs. Believe it or not, people, well, I'm going to just give you my perspective on this case, the case of Serenity Rose Garnett. This trial, all of this, the reporting of this case, in my opinion, is all being done to protect the image of dogs. I believe that is their number one priority, and it's always their number one priority, not the protection of people. And this is true no matter what country you deal with, because you got the same animal lovers, you got the same pro-dog organizations in all of these countries. Shout out to everybody up in here. Hope y'all getting y'all's Monday started right. Let's get motivated. Knock this week out. But this story is troubling, and it needs to be called out. It needs to be called out right now, as soon as this story has resurfaced. Now, this actually took place last year. The attack took place last year, but a day or so ago, she was sentenced. So it has resurfaced. Now look at this. This is one of the articles that I wanted to share. Look at the headline. Great grandmother high on meth as dog attacked, killed 7-month-old baby. Okay, now I've already voiced my disagreement, my disappointment with them focusing on her being high, because they are using it as a scapegoat. Okay, and I'm talking about everybody involved with this case. They're focusing on this lady's drug addiction as if to suggest that if she were sober, she would have been able to stop this pit bull attacking this baby. No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. She would need help herself. Okay? No matter if she was trying to get the pit bull off someone else or trying to get the pit bull off of herself. She is unfit, just like most people. And what disappoints me, what has upset me, is how much attention they're trying to focus or pay to her drug addiction. Now, it's already a sad story when a grandmother has a drug addiction. But they're trying to use her as the scapegoat, and I don't like that. It's a disservice to the dead and a disservice to the living. A disservice to the dead, the baby here that was killed, and a disservice to the living. That is, all other babies that are currently alive. For y'all to put all the focus, and I mean, they're putting 100% of the focus on this woman's drug addiction, on her being high. Everybody involved in doing that, they are ignoring the facts. And they're using this lady as a scapegoat to hide their own irresponsible behaviors and decisions. Now look at the title of this article right here. This is what did it for me. This is what set me off. Martinez's great-grandma was too high to stop child's dog mauling death, warrant says. So they put this information in the warrant. They said that she was too high to stop that pit bull from attacking this 7-month-old. Okay, so what's the excuse for the other babies that were attacked while there was adult supervision and those adults were sober? Okay, y'all found one story where the guardian was high on drugs and you're going overboard because you see it as the perfect opportunity to take attention away from the dog. Okay, so when I heard this story, my question was, and always is, whose dog was it? And did the parent know that the dog was there? If the parent knew, then the parent is also guilty. Okay? Again, it's a disservice to the dead, a disservice to the living, if you want to lie about the circumstances that surrounded this baby's death. And for y'all to say that this grandmother was too high to stop this attack, that is pathetic. What grandmother has stopped a pit bull from attacking someone? How about you find that article, find that story or that report? And you got all day. Leave it in the comment section of this live stream. What grandmother has ever been able to stop a pit bull that was in the middle of attacking? That is so ridiculous. I can't believe there's so many adults co-signing with this, and they actually put this in the police report. That is not why this baby was killed. This baby was killed because there was a dog in the home. Now, this is the actual dog that killed the baby. This is the dog that killed the baby. So, the parents of this baby knew this dog was there. That is what I'm gathering here from all the stories that I've examined. Everyone knew that there were dogs there. But they want to focus on this woman's drug addiction because they see it as the perfect opportunity to defend dogs, to take your attention away from the danger that all kids are in when dogs are in the home. That's what they're trying to take our attention away from. And let me tell you, I cannot wait until I publish my book. My book is truly an outline of everything I've been talking about on this channel. And the truth, I'm dealing with truth. I'm not paying no attention to the laws or nothing. I'm dealing with truth and common sense. And the fact is, every child in this country, age 13 and under, is in more danger than any other age demographic in this country. They are the primary victims of attacks. And virtually all dog attacks are unprovoked. Unprovoked. Now, as soon as they started, I was about to say the second paragraph, But this right here is a sentence. This is not even a paragraph. So they really couldn't wait to bring your attention to the fact she was high. Says she was under the influence of drugs when caring for a 7-month-old baby. She was in possession of a half a gram of meth and about a gram of liquid meth, according to a warrant. Paramedics were called Tuesday for an attack by the dog. The grandmother had been bitten as well on her arms. The baby was not breathing from several bites and puncture wounds. People, I need people to be mindful of where I'm coming from here. Dogs are not innocent. When you call something innocent, you're calling it innocent because it's incapable of harming anyone, incapable of lying, incapable of deceiving anyone, and incapable of harming. Most important, incapable of harming anyone. There is only one innocent mammal in this universe. That is human babies. Anything willing and able to torture and kill a baby has no business in our society. It's as simple as that. So everybody who knew that that dog was in that home is complicit. Paramedics were called to the address. Okay, now the baby no doubt was bitten in the head, as that's really the first thing dogs go after. They go after the face. They go after the head. Now you saw this. The warrant itself said that the grandmother, and this is a great grandmother, pardon me, the warrant itself said the great grandmother was too high to stop the dog attack. So I want all of you to get a sober grandmother. Allow the pit bull to attack some non-living entity that it thinks is alive, which though I don't think that would work. Get a stuffed teddy bear and cover it in blood. Okay? I want to see any grandmother stop a pit bull from attacking. I've shown videos here on this channel of grown, dusty, burly men who are not only incapable of stopping a pit bull attack, but was too scared to even try for a long time before they actually tried. If you want to see a human being look worthless, watch them as they try to stop a dog attack. Now, check this one out. A lot of stories, a lot of media outlets have ran a story on this.
Years, that's how long one great-grandmother will spend behind bars for a deadly dog attack that killed a 7-month-old Serenity Garnett. It was a packed courtroom today filled with friends and family of Serenity's parents.
They were all wearing shirts that said "Sleep in Paradise." There was no trial because Migdala Guadalupe took full responsibility for her actions. Our Hallie Turner was there when Serenity's family spoke about this in court.
Yep.
No trial because the grandmother took full responsibility for her actions. This is very scary.
Full responsibility for her actions.
The way that everybody is on code with blaming the grandmother being on drugs is scary.
Henley Turner was there when Serenity's family spoke about this in court.
Yeah, it was an emotional day in court for Serenity Garnett's family. Both sides of the family came face to face with the one person they put their trust into for care for the 7-month-old. And now their lives are...
And that's the grandmother. Everybody is 100% blaming the grandmother.
forever changed.
An attempt to mend a broken relationship.
She has tormented my family for decades. She ruined my mom. She ruined my little sister.
Okay, they're saying that the grandmother tormented them for decades. She ruined her sister, ruined her mother. Now, the grandmother moved from New York to Georgia for the sole purpose of caring for the baby. Okay, the grandmother moved to Georgia from New York to care for the baby. Okay, so it did not sound like at that moment the grandmother was a hated or despised or evil, wicked person. She was doing a favor for them.
7-month-old Serenity Garnett her life when her great-grandmother moved from New York to Georgia to babysit her.
She moved from New York to Georgia to babysit the baby. So she wasn't all that terrible of a person then, was she? Let's just be truthful about this. Isn't this relevant? Because I've looked at almost a dozen articles already. They're all painting this grandmother as the most wicked, filthy, most low-down person on earth. But at that time, I mean, who does that? Who moves to a different state just to babysit for someone? It sounds like this grandmother, despite her having a drug addiction, was trying to be helpful. So, let's not just paint her as some demon. See, I believe people are very quick to demonize the grandmother because it takes attention away from all of the people who knew that dog was there. It takes attention away from everybody who was involved and co-sign with that dog being there, because everybody is complicit.
While her parents were in school.
I trusted her with my most precious thing in my life.
Said I trusted her with the most precious thing in my life. I went over this. I actually read this.
But instead, she chose drugs.
And they said, but instead she chose drugs. So they're saying that this was 100% the fault of the grandmother. And it was her fault because she was high. And if she were not high, if she were sober, they're saying that she could have stopped a pit bull attack. I'm saying no, she couldn't. And I'm not saying that as a person who just putting his opinion out there. I have been keeping up with every single dog attack that has showed up in the news. I've been keeping up with these attacks for over 7 years now. So I trust.
In my life, but instead she chose drugs.
She chose drugs. Okay. Super grandma was too high. But boy, if she were sober, I guess she would have been able to just pick that pit bull up with no problem, huh? Just snatch it up by the collar, huh?
How can this happen if she was really watching Serenity?
How could this happen if she was really... There are several adults who are watching their kids, supervising, and the dog attacking. You can't stop these things. I don't know why you're playing dumb. You're playing dumb. Trying to talk like you can stop a dog attack. Let's see y'all stop a dog attack. And then you can lecture others on why they didn't try to stop one.
Why didn't she call 911? Serenity's life could have been saved.
She died in March of 2022 after a dog attacked her while in the care of her great-grandmother, Migdala Guadalupe.
Because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe somebody that we had so many problems with growing up.
Wow. I can't believe we had, what'd she say? Someone who we've had so many problems with growing up.
Believe somebody that
Guadalupe.
Because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe somebody that we had so many problems with growing up had took the one thing that had healed my family.
Said the grandmother took the one thing that had healed her family. So you see where I'm coming from here? This is a lot that they are solely dumping on the grandmother. And I fully understand why, because everyone looks down on a drug addict. Even though I would say most people in this country are addicted to some type of drug. I thought this was overboard, people. This is overboard. The way they're desperately trying to get us to focus on this grandmother. Listen, I'm the last person to try to convince that a grandmother would be able to stop a pit bull mid-attack if she's sober. Man, I don't care if she just had a Red Bull. I don't care if she's on steroids. She ain't stopping no pit bull from attacking. The problem is the presence of the dog. And it kills me how some of these people who get up here on this podium and talk, they talk as if they would have been able to stop the pit bull from attacking. I don't think so. Come on, man. Don't tell me that the solution to stopping dog attacks is a sober grandmother. Okay, I ain't ready for that lecture. Don't tell me that's the solution. That's the magic preventative measure. Oh, call up grandma. Let's make sure she's sober. Yeah, she'll snatch that pit bull right up.
At the time of Serenity's death, Guadalupe did not have a track record in Georgia of drug use, but the prosecutor said she did in New York. When law enforcement responded,
see how the prosecutors, police officers, everybody focusing on her drug addiction. That way, everybody who put a stamp of approval of that baby being in that home with that dog get off scot-free. They don't have to take any of the responsibility. But everybody was responsible.
responded to the home, Guadalupe was found to be high on drugs, breaking the family all over again.
Pain of losing my granddaughter in such a horrific way has been unbearable, and it has been difficult to come to terms with the fact that she is no longer with us.
Guadalupe was sentenced.
Why? Because here's the thing. I don't have kids. But if I had a 7-month-old daughter or son, my daughter or son would never be inside of a home, especially if I'm not there. Even if I was there, my kids would not be inside of a home where there is also a dog, especially if it's a bully breed. My child's not going to be in there. So again, my question is, why was this baby in that home? I have a hard time believing it was only the grandmother who was aware that both the baby and the child was in that home. I flat out don't believe that. More people knew that the grandmother was there with a pit bull and a baby. And they were okay with it. The dog mauled the baby, and lucky you. Turns out as the dog attacked the baby, grandma was high. So we don't have to focus on me giving permission for my baby to be inside of a house with a pit bull. We don't have to focus on that. And again, whose was it? Now, I heard it was the owner of the home, the homeowner who owned I don't care who actually owned it. I'm looking at the people who put a stamp of approval on the baby being in that home with that dog. And there was a bunch of people responsible for that.
It's Thursday for the death of Serenity Garnett.
10 years on count 1, followed by 3 years to be served on count 2. 6 years.
So she got 13 years. She has to physically serve 6 of those years. The rest on probation.
Served in confinement. The balance to be served on probation.
While it won't bring their baby back, Serenity's family released this statement to News 12. We want to thank everyone for all of the prayers and support you have showed us. With great pleasure, I'm able to say that justice has been served. Nothing will bring back our precious Serenity, but we are content with knowing the person responsible for this horrific incident will be punished to the full extent. Long live Serenity.
That's not justice.
Nothing will bring back this statement to News 12. We want to thank everyone for all of the prayers and support you have showed us. With great pleasure, I'm able to say that justice has been served. Nothing.
How has justice been served? I don't get that. How has justice been served? You see, other people, other pit nutters, owners of pit bulls, they might hear this story and say to themselves, oh, it was because grandma was high. Well, I don't use drugs. You know, I'm only 80 pounds soaking wet, but I'm sober. So I'm well equipped to stop a dog attack, a pit bull attack. You see, it's a disservice when you don't try to push for living arrangements that would make the torture and murder of a 7-month-old impossible. That's all you should be focused on, is promoting safe living environments. That baby was in a hazardous environment before grandma got high. You follow me? Before grandma took a hit, that baby was in a hazardous environment. And the fact is, no matter if she got high or not, that baby was still in danger and would have still been mauled. How many of y'all saw this recent story? Jack Lee's mother chimed in as well. It was after a baby. Here recently, a couple days ago, a baby was killed in UK. I'm thinking it was in Serenity. I have to figure out how to pronounce this. I'm sorry, people. I cannot continue to pronounce this incorrectly. But recently, a baby was killed over there. I'm telling you, over there in the UK, it is extremely bad right now, people. It's extremely bad. It's to the point where people are demanding answers. They're demanding answers. Okay. I have to do this. I'm sorry, people. Right? Shout out to all my UK crusaders. I'm sorry. mispronouncing this here. I gotta find this out.
Caerphilly.
Okay. Okay. So there was a baby killed in Caerphilly. It's a weird name, Caerphilly. A baby was killed recently. And that's no surprise. Babies are always being killed by dogs. And of course, as always, the people don't care. Okay, what'd I do with that story? Over there in India, it's crazy right now in India. Okay, this is the story. This is actually fun. Baby in hospital after being mauled in dog attack in Caerphilly. 5-month-old baby in the hospital after being mauled by a dog in Wales. Baby's taking child's injuries unknown, but are not believed to be life-threatening. It's possible you may see blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then they bring up Jack Lease. Like I said, his mother recently made a statement. She said something needs to be done now. Something needs to be done now. Of course, something needs to be done. It's a matter of, will anything be done? That's the question. I can find this story. Give me 1 second here. I gotta find this. Because this is bothering me. I don't know, I usually keep stories like that. But I wanted to get that interview from Jack Lee's mother. Jack Lee's mother, I'm starting to suspect, is a low-key crusader. Some of the things she's been saying, I'm on to her. I've noticed that too with a number of parents of children who have been mauled. A lot of them, they slowly but surely morph into a crusader. And I ain't mad at that. They all should. They all should. Okay, I can't find it now. Man, that is too bad. I wanted that. Let me see if I can find it. This past week. Baby dog attack in Serenity. And once again in Caerphilly. This is ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous. What are they waiting for over there in the UK is my question. Because they haven't even tried to do anything, really. They have been doing nothing. Basically just sitting on their hands, twiddling their thumbs. Haven't been doing nothing. Death after death, murder after murder. That's terrorism for the whole community, wherever this is. Okay, I lost that doggone thing. Now, here's Yahoo's. Yahoo did a story, or did an article on it as well. Look at the title. Great-grandmother high on meth as dog attacked. Okay? And what really upsets me about this is that every single person who reads this, they're well aware that grandma couldn't have stopped the dog attack even if she was sober. Everybody knows that. That means the problem, the cause of the attack was not grandma being high. That wasn't the cause of this attack. And that is not why this attack was not halted or interrupted. This attack did not go on for a long time because grandma was high. Everybody knows that the attack would have went down high or not. That's a huge disservice to this baby's memory. That's dishonoring this baby by not dealing with the truth. You're not even dealing with the true cause of death. I would never disgrace the memory of my child like that. No, you better deal with the true cause of death, because the whole point in dealing with the true cause of death is to help others to not lose a baby by doing the same thing, having the same living arrangements that you has. That is what you're supposed to do. But because people don't want to say anything against dogs, they point and wag the finger at grandma. No, you're not going to get away with that. I'm not buying that. And you see how they got grandma's mug shot, got her looking like a criminal to help their campaign.
Moment. Go ahead. Download Detroit's best.
And this
news
is a
app.
campaign
Detroit with
of covering up a murder. Isn't there like an official word for that?
What?
Everybody is joining in. Everybody is participating. From the law enforcement officers, the prosecutors, the neighbors, family members, everybody is joining in and working together to protect the image of the dogs. Blame anything and anybody else, but do not focus on the dogs. That's why they're going on about her drug addiction. I don't respect that at all. No, I don't respect that at all. That is cowardly, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. A 7-month-old baby lost her life. It's your responsibility to be truthful about the loss of life. Boy, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. How many of y'all heard about this cop that shot this dog in the jaw? Detroit's family golden doodle shot in the jaw by Wayne State University police. Now listen, I don't believe for 1 second that cops shoot dogs for fun. Okay? So don't even start with that. And that's the only go-to that the nutters have. I said it before, I say it again, I keep saying it. Cops are some of the biggest dog lovers in the world.
New at 6, the Detroit family's dog is recovering after being shot late last night by Wayne State University police.
A university spokesperson says it's not something they take lightly, but the dog was charging at the officer. Our Megan Woods is in Midtown tonight with that story.
This is the area that dog...
Oh, the cop said the dog was charging at him. All right.
Was shot. He's a golden doodle, 10 years old, named Ace, and he's not just a family pet. He's their emotional support dog. And
it's an emotional support dog. The law doesn't recognize emotional support dogs. And to be honest, all dogs are used as emotional support dogs. It's supposed to be your companion, right? Ain't that what you call them? What's a companion? Emotional support. So stop with that goofball nonsense. It was not a service dog. It was just a regular old dog.
Emotional support dog, and that's what makes this even more traumatizing for this family.
Got him as a puppy, just very gentle, very healing, and
It was gentle and healing? What are you talking about? So it was a very hairy, nasty, one of those stinking mutts that smell extra bad. Got all types of filth through their nasty fur. Types of mucus, and their whole body holds on to all types of nastiness.
Gentle, very healing, just very gentle, very healing, and he's instinctive.
It's why Robin...
The dog is instinctive. What are you talking about? It's healing and instinctive. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding. What is she talking about?
Just very gentle, very healing, and he's instinctive.
And why are they showing the dogs? Why do they have the camera between the dog's legs like that? Did y'all notice that? It's like, look how pointless that was. Like, what are you doing that
As
for?
a puppy, just very...
Like, why would you do that? Why would you pan the camera? You know this is a male dog laying on its back. I mean, can I go there? I have to go there. The secret to a successful live stream is to be honest and straightforward. Why'd they do that? Isn't that odd? If you want to show the dog, isn't this enough? Isn't this what you want? This is all you want, all you need. No, they pan down on... Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry, it's this dog world is just so cringe.
And he's instinctive.
It's why Robin Gamble says Ace became an emotional support dog in 2017.
Okay.
This place I live in now, we couldn't have a dog unless we had the proper paperwork.
So, you hear what she said. They couldn't have a dog there without proper paperwork. So all they did is said it's an emotional support dog. And that's all they have to do. Having a ban on dogs is pretty much worthless. Because all they do is lie and say it's an emotional support. And even that is not supposed to work. You saying it's an emotional support, that's not supposed to override restrictions on dogs. You're only allowed to have the dog if it's a support dog. How you get paperwork for an emotional support dog?
In 2017.
This place I live in now, we couldn't have a dog unless we had the proper paperwork.
Robin and her 18-year-old son, Justin Fuller, says Ace isn't aggressive and don't understand why a Wayne State police officer would shoot him.
Okay. So here's her 18-year-old son. They say the dog's not aggressive. We don't understand why the cop would shoot him.
Why a Wayne State police officer would shoot him. Justin says around 9:30 Friday night when he took...
What the... That is so weird. What is she talking to it? And she's dead serious talking to it like it's a human. Like, you really think it understand? What a waste. What a waste of life. What a waste of life talking to a dog. You better off talking to yourself. Lord, these nutters.
Understand why a Wayne State police officer would shoot him. Justin says around 9:30 Friday night when he took Ace out for a quick bathroom break in the rain, 4 Wayne State police patrol cars were outside of his neighbor's front door.
Now, you hear the scenario. They wanted to take this dog out so they could use the restroom. And when he went out, he saw cops.
He took Ace out for a quick bathroom break in the rain. 4 Wayne State police patrol cars were outside of his neighbor's front door.
Okay. That's a simple scenario. Cops are outside. You came outside. It's raining, but the dog has to use the restroom.
Walk over to this abandoned house behind us, and by the time he gets about halfway there, he notices the cops.
He's talking about the dog. He said he went behind this house, and then he said the dog noticed the cops.
And he trots over there curiously.
The dog trots over to the cops curiously.
to go see what they're up to or whatever.
To go see what they're up to or whatever. Listen to this guy. Listen to this.
He notices the cops, and he trots over there curiously to go see what they're up to or whatever. He's being a dog.
It was being a dog.
And the officer looked at me, looked back at the dog, and shot the dog. He didn't give me any warning. He didn't say, come get your dog.
He was shot.
Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And what do you mean it was being...
And by the time he gets about halfway there, he notices the cops. And he trots over there curiously to go see what they're up to or whatever. He's being a dog.
Listen, that's exactly why it got shot. Because it was being a dog. And as you just admitted, dogs regularly violate people's personal space, run up to people, and I don't believe this dog just slowly trotted up by those cops. I don't believe that. And my question is, why didn't you have that dog in your possession? You say you took it out so it could urinate. Why'd you let it off leash? Why was it even able to walk up to a cop or multiple cops like that? And you never intervened. This sounds like a nutter who purposely allowed the dog off leash, saw the dog going up or running up to some cops, and still refused to get the dog under his control. Instead, just wanted to sit there and look to see what the cops do. A lot of these nutters do that. They'll purposely allow their unleashed dog to go up to cops because they want the cops to shoot them so they can get a lawsuit.
We walk over to this abandoned house behind us, and by the time he gets about halfway there, he notices the cops. And he trots over there curiously to go see what they're up to or whatever. He's being a dog.
See, I'm sorry, but this really upsets me. It upsets me because I know a lot of other dog lovers can relate to what this guy is saying. And what I want y'all to understand is that not everybody likes dogs. Some of us hate dogs. We don't want no dog walking up to us. I recently saw this story in the, I think the New York Tribune or something like that. But I did not read the full article. But what they were talking about is how it's inconsiderate to bring your dog to work and have your dog running around in the office from desk to desk, pestering people. And I read that article. I read a little bit of it, and I'm like, why did it take so long for people to catch on to this? And we all know that they do stuff like that. They deliberately will let their dog off leash, will bring their dog somewhere, will conceal the fact that they have a dog so that when you come inside of their home after they invite you in, it'll pounce on you. They love to set you up and create scenarios where they can force people to interact with their stupid, nasty, stinking dog. And all I'm saying is, y'all need to stop doing that. There are people out here who hate dogs, who don't want them near them, don't want no dog running up on them. I'm one of them. And listen, you got some people out here in the world who want dogs to be exterminated. Y'all need to be aware of this and stop running around thinking everybody loves dogs. I don't know how you could be so goofy and brain dead to assume that anyways, but a bunch of you nutters do. Everyone loves dogs. Who doesn't love dogs? We about to make y'all understand that there are a whole bunch of people out here who don't love dogs. Us being silent people, that makes life worse for us. Because then these nutters assume they can do anything, go anywhere, force dogs on anybody.
And the officer looked at me, looked back at the dog, and shot the dog.
Shut up, nutter. You know, cop shoot no harmless doodle for nothing. I don't believe that at all.
Mouth and it went through his jaw. The bullet came out. So he has some stitches up here and some tissue damage.
At Wayne State University.
That dog probably won't be walking up to any more police anytime soon.
A spokesperson confirms the shooting and says officers were initially responding to a domestic disturbance call that turned into a welfare check. They also say the dog was not on a leash, charged at the officer, and with the limited space in front of the door, the officer had nowhere to go and felt they were in danger.
Good for the cop. That's what he should have done. That dog could have had rabies. Don't think just because it's a small dog, it don't need to be shot. It can bite just like a pit bull. And Mutt got rabies, capnocytophaga, bite that cop's life in danger. He neutralized the threat. You shouldn't be allowing your dog off leash to run up to people. It sounds like this nutter planned that. Knew full well. See, a lot of these nutters, they're dumb like that, people. They could step outside their home and across the street see 3 or 4 cops. These brain-dead idiots will release their dog just so their dog can go up to the cops. They'll do that. They do stuff like that because they're just brain dead. These are brain-damaged people. We got to be mindful of that. Be mindful of that because that could save your life someday. If you know their behavior, their patterns, you can predict when a dog is going to be somewhere.
Space in front of the door, the officer had nowhere to go and felt they were in danger. Robin admits Ace wasn't on a leash, but argues that doesn't justify shooting him.
Says who? Of course, you are going to say that. You as the owner. What you think don't matter. You left your dog off leash. You let it off leash. It got shot. Tough. Nobody feeling sorry for you nutters. Dog got shot as it was violating someone's personal space. This cop probably felt threatened. You know, like how dogs always feel threatened, according to you all, and attack because they feel threatened. I don't want to hear y'all little crocodile tears now. You see how they try to bring this up? Suddenly, all of a sudden, it's wrong to defend yourself. It's only okay to defend yourself if you're a dog. And every time dogs attack in self-defense, it's always attacking someone who wasn't attacking it or being threatening at all.
On a leash, but argues that doesn't justify shooting him.
And there's dogs that can be off of a leash, and we're steps from the door.
She plans to file a complaint with police. In Detroit, Megan Woods, Local 4.
Wayne State University.
Oh, God. Get out of here, man. Recently, I've been real upset. I've been easily irked by how much people treat dogs as if their life is valuable. And it's not. The life of one human being is more valuable than the life of every dog on this planet. That's an irrefutable fact. The life of one human is more valuable than the life of every dog currently on this earth. And that brings me to India. That brings me back to India. I'm keeping an eye on different countries. I'm not just focusing on the US and the UK. But over there in India, there are a lot of crazy things going on. And I did not like this article right here, surfaced a few hours ago. Open house. What can be done to check rising cases of dog bites? Now, I'm not going to read all this. I've already read it. So I'm going to go over it. Authorities should neuter stray dogs. Oh, and all throughout the articles, we have to avoid, look at this. Expert opinion must be considered on the matter. Huh? NGOs, government must work together on this issue. Okay? Vaccinate dogs against rabies. Promote adoption of stray dogs. Now, this is a Indian media outlet, and the people who wrote this are Indians in India. They're supposed to be giving solutions to the stray dog menace. People being attacked left and right by stray dogs. All attacks unprovoked, as always. And so, to reduce dog attacks, they're saying that people should adopt the dogs. Yeah, bring them inside your home. That'll stop the attacks. This is the sloppiest, most irresponsible article I ever read in my life. Promote the adoption of strays. No, thank you. Innovative ways needed to tackle problem. Listen to how they turn it into rocket science. When the solution is simple, exterminate them. But as you could have guessed, you see I had to highlight it, where this person, I don't know who this is, Rishika, says, due to a lack of food, care, and attention, these dogs are turning violent. Due to a lack of food, a lack of care, and a lack of attention? So they're putting the blame on the people. The dogs are turning violent because there's not enough food. So what if the people are struggling to feed themselves? It's not their responsibility to feed these dogs. All throughout this article, they're projecting it as if it's our responsibility to take care of these things. Look at everything they're suggesting that we do. Got to feed them, give medical care, and what do you mean attention? The other animals on the earth don't need food from us. They don't depend on us for food, care, or attention. So why do dogs need it? No, this is just an excuse. Saying that they attack because they don't have enough food, care, and attention is just an excuse. Solution is simple. Exterminate them. And dog lovers must volunteer to take responsibility at shelters. They're just promoting this idea of keeping the dogs alive. Oh, just give them more food, give them more shelter, more water. Look at this. And what does this mean? Intensify awareness campaigns, huh? With over 50 daily cases, one of the hospitals there registered over 19,000 dog bite cases last year in one hospital. They say this shows the seriousness of the menace of stray dogs, but the authorities concerned seem to be least bothered with no remedies in sight. To check the rise in cases of dog bites, the administration should take necessary steps immediately. It is the duty of a bunch of nonsense. Give them shots, spay and neuter, control their population, reduce their population. We need to keep the population under control. I don't know why they bang on about this population thing. If you got 100 stray dogs in your county and you reduce it to 25, those 25 can still attack you, still spread rabies to you. Reducing the dog population is not the solution. You need to get rid of them, each and every one, and don't tell me that extermination doesn't work. Don't even try it. Multi-pronged strategy needed to address issue. Listen to how they're projecting it as rocket science. We need a multi-pronged strategy. We need to intensify awareness. No. We need innovative ways to tackle. No, all you need is a gun. Multiple guns. A fire pit. Syringe, needles, poison, whatever. Whatever is the most effective. That's all you need. And you exterminate every dog in sight. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to contact your neighboring countries and tell them to join in on the extermination of these worthless mutants. Mutants whose lives are absolutely worthless. Exterminate them without a drop of remorse, a drop of compassion. That is what world governments need to do. No. We need to shift stray dogs to animal shelters. That's what they say in this article. Shift stray dogs to animal shelters so they can do what? Continue to be a burden? Continue to drain our resources? Everything that they suggest doing with these stray dogs is a drain on our resources. It's not our responsibility to take care of these things. Now look at what they wrote here. Cruelty to dogs must be avoided. Notice how they put animals. Look at their selection of words. They use the word animals instead of dogs to try to make it more likely that people will sympathize or show sympathy or compassion. They have to remind people that dogs are animals. Don't forget, these are animals. These are animals. The world's best kept secret is that dogs are not true animals. They're not natural. They were not intended to exist, and they don't deserve to exist. Okay, these are not God's creatures. Residents must cooperate with the government. Now keep in mind, these are all suggestions to reduce stray dog menace. Now wait a minute. Government support ourselves. Seek the help. Look at this. The stray dog problem now seems to be out of control in the city. In some areas, one cannot even keep count of stray dogs as their population has increased enormously. To curb the menace, the municipal corporation should catch these dogs and put them in animal shelters located far away from the city. What? So you want to collect all the stray dogs and put them in shelters? More money, more resources. They're going to need food, more food. No, we need to rid ourselves of this health, safety, and financial burden by removing dogs from this planet completely. Completely. They're the only so-called animals that completely depend on us. So we're completely wasting resources on them, not just resources. We're wasting valuable energy, human energy and emotions, and allowing dogs to have a negative impact on our relationships with other humans, with other people. No other species would tolerate that. We don't have to do nothing for dogs. Listen to how they're going on as if dogs are our responsibility, as if we're giving birth to dogs, as if we have a natural responsibility, a divine responsibility to take care of these. The only thing we need to do is exterminate them. That is exactly what dogs deserve. And that's the only thing that makes sense. What a unnecessary drain on human capital. Not just capital, but even more importantly, a complete waste of energy. That's no matter what you're talking about, whether it be companionship, love, all the energies that's involved in having a relationship. It's completely wasted on dogs. You know, a lot of people may not understand, but the presence of dogs on this planet, they have a negative impact on several things that you might not think is even associated with dogs, but it most certainly is, because dogs function as family members, as fellow citizens. Very scary stuff. So I tried to find the author of this article, couldn't find him. I found a bunch of different people. You can see they put their name after each paragraph or whatever. So I guess this is input from a variety of people. But they're all in India. These are the dog nutters of India. And they're trying to destroy India. Trying to get as many people killed, mutilated as possible. Any and everybody who promotes the presence of these things in our society are promoting death, destruction, disfigurements, dysfunctional relationships between people, filth, stink, and a whole bunch of other things. Nothing positive comes out of owning dogs. Now, this was another case in India. Dog attacked a woman and her kids at a beach. How many more attacks? This is crazy. Man and his sister, her friend, responsible for a dog attack. My goodness. They were fined $2,700. Really? for owning a dog without a license. The attack took place when, check this out. Let's check this out. The attack took place on the beach when the sister and her friend took the dog for a walk. The dog became aggressive and attacked Nadia, 39, her daughter, who was 11, and her 6-year-old son. So y'all was taking this dog on a walk. Sound like a bunch of dog lovers. So this dog lover is responsible for this child getting attacked. You see? They always are. And they always get away with it. Nobody points the finger at them. What were you doing with a dog? What were you doing with the dog? You were out there walking it. You brought the dog around. And you need to be punished. That's very infuriating. How these people, back to back, nothing happens to them. Even in these cases where, like with the grandmother, she got charged, but those situations, they look for situations like that. If you're high at the time, if you're drunk at the time, yeah, they're going to focus on that. But in any other case, they get off scot-free. Nothing happened to these people. It's only an accident when a dog carries out the attack. Why can't it be an accident when I carry out an attack on a dog? Why can't that be an accident? Oh, that'll never be considered an accident. Right? I take a sledgehammer and put in some work on a worthless mutt. Even if it's in self-defense. Nobody is going to be okay with that. At least not any of the nutters. Now, I just wanted to share this story because it was an interesting story. This dog was set on fire. Was set on fire by a 12-year-old. Set on fire by a 12-year-old. Now, do y'all think I'm going to sit here and wag my finger at a 12-year-old? Do y'all think for 1 second that this 12-year-old is responsible for this? I can't say it. 12 years, you're still a child in my eyes. At 12, you're a child. You're literally a child. So no. And the 12-year-old typically, setting a dog on fire is not something that pops into your mind. They don't even know exactly how it happened. And they keep referring to the dog using its name. Humane Society, take responsibility. Okay, yeah, whatever. But the dog lived. Got a burnt face, but I'm worried about the 12-year-old. I want to know what happened to him. Was he violated by the dog? Did the dog threaten him? Growl at him? Looking at all these stories of dog attacks, unprovoked dog attacks, I have to assume that. I have to wonder, what did this dog do to this 12-year-old? Anytime I hear about a dog being beaten or shot, the only thing I ask is, what did that dog do to them? In most cases, the dog did something. Oh, I don't know why I saved this, because they're always doing this. I didn't mean to save that. It's funny how they have this mutt sitting here in this article as if it's waiting for someone to come by and adopt it. Yeah? No, actually, the dog can't wait to rip somebody's child apart. That's what it looked like to me. Like it sees a child down the hall and wants to mutilate them. That's what it looks like. You know, after dealing with these stories for so long, you have to forgive me. When I see a dog, all I see is something that can't wait to attack a baby somewhere, toddler somewhere. That's all I see. Unprovoked as always. As always. You know, because it takes a soulless, heartless, remorseless, demonic creature to launch the types of attacks that dogs launch. You know, it really does speak to dogs' character. How can we not hold the character of dogs up to scrutiny when they do something that other animals don't? Dogs should come under heavy criticism for being the only creatures that carry out really tortures. They're the only creatures on this planet that regularly torture babies, toddlers, on a regular basis. This is every day, every single day. I just cannot believe that something with this type of track record that proves its malicious, evil nature on a daily basis, something like this is as praised and honored as dogs are in society. It truly is mind-blowing. What in the world are y'all doing here? Oh, God. Big shout out to everybody. What is going on with everybody? Isn't there like an uptick? These different waves of dog issues is crazy to me. But it feels like we're getting somewhere now. There are more and more people starting to pay attention to the dog problem. It's a major, major problem. Right? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, someone else shared a story. Esmeralda said that where she lives, someone released 3 pit bulls on the police, and the pit bulls were shot. People, they love. That's why they bring dogs into stores. They know that they could leave their dogs at home. But a lot of them, they get off on seeing people around their dog, seeing people interact with their dog. They're so addicted to it that they drag their dog everywhere. That's why they want to bring their dogs to work with them. Remember, I shared that article. A bunch of nutters were complaining that they couldn't be with their dog all day. They had to leave it at home when they go to work. That is exactly why they're bringing them to work with them all across the country. We keep wondering how we're getting sick. Nasty mutants everywhere we go. Yeah, did you see how oblivious that guy was to how dogs violate people? How he accepted the idea of a dog just walking up to random people and violating their personal space, their person. You see, They will see their dog violating someone like that, and they'll say, oh, it's just being a dog. Yeah, just get your dog away from me. That's very consistent part of their culture. To not only allow their dog to violate you, but to sit there and not stop it. See, they want to see you intimate with their dog. They want to see you rubbing all over and kissing it. That's what they want. They want you to let the dog lick on your face. Listen, those people who, clearly release their dog on you, nutters, go ahead and try to do that. Try to rub on it and let it lick your face. They're going to be thrilled. And listen, I don't understand it. I don't know why. But they get off on seeing other people who are not the owners of their dog interact with their dog, rub on their dog. That's why these therapy dogs that they bring into schools, quite often it's the teacher's dog. A few of those stories said it right there in the article, that the dog belonged to the teacher. These dog owners, they get off. It's like they get some weird high seeing other people rub on their dog and interact with their dog. Just a bunch of cringe, weirdo behavior that's dangerous and disgusting. And we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept no wild animal violating us. Okay? I understand why it's taken so long for us to be bold about our how uncomfortable we are because they've been shaming us. Nobody wants to be called evil or immoral or ungodlike. You don't want to be accused of disliking God's creation, God's animals. So they've been beating us over the head with, oh, it's animals. It's an animal. It's God's creatures. Oh, you have to be nice to it. You have to avoid harming it. You cannot kill them. You have to treat them like a 2-year-old child. See, but once you hammer it into people's head, hammer home the fact that these are not natural animals, there's nothing natural about them when it comes to their behavior. They do not behave. They don't function like natural animals. And they literally are not natural animals. They shouldn't exist. Nature is trying to remove them from the universe, and people, and only people, are the one who preventing nature from eradicating these useless vermin. They're counterproductive. They're counter-evolution. Counter-evolution. And I believe they are the biggest downfall. Worse than even worse than the red meat that you eat. Right? You got cancer popping up. It's one of the biggest killers, if I'm not mistaken. Heart disease. Was it heart disease? Yeah. People value dogs at a dangerous level. The status that they hold dogs up to is dangerous. And it's higher than their God. Even with religious people who are dog lovers, if you follow them day to day, they worship their dogs, not God, not Jesus. These are dog worshipers. All these people, they'll have an account for their dog, not for Jesus. They'll create a special Instagram account for their dog, Twitter account for their dog, and will pretend to be a dog. They're not going to make a special account for Jesus. Are you kidding? They're not going to make a special account for God. They won't make no special account even for their own kids. Only dogs. Okay? And this is why, I have to take my hat off to religious people who take a strong stance against dogs, because it shows that they're actually trying to obey what their Bible says or what their holy book says. And dogs get no love at all in the Bible. If Bible believers truly followed that Bible, dogs wouldn't be a problem in this country. Wouldn't be a problem at all. In fact, they wouldn't even be here. So yeah, I don't have nothing against the Bible. When it comes to dogs, yeah, give me a Bible. Pass the Bible. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a religious person at all. But yeah, if it only deals with dogs, hey, give me the Bible. Me and the Bible all day. Oh, God. Yeah. Man, it's so important to stay in good spirits, man. There seems to be a cloud of depression. It's coming over the country. I hope it's not like this in all countries. Negativity, or people with bad energy. I'm getting that a lot. People with really bad energy. I'm worried about, people in general. I've never worried about mass shooters until recently. You hear all these stories about mass shooters, but then you start to talk to people and you can see where it's generated. People don't really invest in each other. You can feel the waste of energy. Energy that could be used to prevent mass shootings, to prevent violence, abuse, all these different social problems that we have. You have to agree, or you have to believe, our social relations would improve if dogs were removed. That is like mathematically irrefutable. It would happen. Human relationships would improve if dogs are removed. And only dogs. Because what I've seen, people with cats, they're not the same as dog owners. They are not the same. Okay? You want a cat? Get you a cat. A gerbil, hamster, any other pet, I would say is acceptable. I can tolerate it. But dogs have to go. That's just the way it is. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this Monday rant. I can't believe how long my live streams averaged now. What is going on? They used to average about an hour. Now it's like no less than an hour and a half. There's more to talk about. The attacks are on the rise everywhere. That's the problem. I'm getting bombarded with content because getting bombarded with stories. People getting attacked more often. And the nuttery is just through the roof. Stay safe out there, people. I have bad nightmares about reporting about a dog attack or one of y'all been attacked. It's almost bound to happen. I'm going to have to do a report on a crusader who was attacked by a dog. Let me tell you, if I have to report on one of you being attacked, please let me report that the dog was put down by the victim. And let's hope you don't suffer any injuries. Right? Let it be a near miss where a mutt was charging at you and you were able to neutralize it however you want. I'll gladly report it then. Okay? If one of you ever do that, if one of you ever have to defend yourself and neutralize a threatening dog, take pictures. Take pictures and share them with me. I want to hear the story. Well, I'm going to have too much fun with a story like that. Oh, God. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. And I hope to see you all back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.